Welcome you all. Myself Dr.R.Venkatesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Ramco Institute of Technology, Rajapalayam. And today we are going to learn about errors and exception handling. So in this class we are going to learn about errors and exception handling. First of all, we are going to learn about errors and exception handling. Errors. The programs that we write may behave abnormally or unexpectedly because some kind of errors or exception may be happen while we are writing the program. So in this program we may did some mistakes. That mistake is commonly known as errors. There are two common types of errors may be happen that we very often encounter are syntax errors and logical errors. While the logical errors occur due to the poor understanding of the problem and its solutions. This means the programmer did not understanding the problem and its solution. On the other hand, the syntax errors, it may arise due to poor understanding of the programming language. However, such errors can be detected and exhaustive debugging and testing procedures. These errors may be detected and corrected by the debugging process and the testing procedures. But many times we come across peculiar problems which are often categorized as exceptions. The exceptions are known as runtime anomalies or unusual conditions such as divide by zero, accessing arrays out of its bounds, running out of memory or disk space, overflow, underflow. They are commonly known as exceptions. Like errors, exception can also categorized by two types. First one is synchronous and asynchronous exceptions. While synchronous exceptions, some type of errors are divide by zero errors or array index out of bound. It can be controlled by the program itself. Some types of exceptions, that is called as asynchronous exception, which cannot controlled by the program, which are the events are beyond control of the program, like an interrupt from the keyboard or disk failure or hardware malfunction. So which type of events are beyond control of the program. These type of events could not controlled by the program. So next one, we are going to learn about the syntax and logical errors. The syntax errors occurs when we violate the rules of Python, program, and they are most kind of error that we while learning a new language. So the syntax errors means whenever we are learning the new language of the program, we could not understand the programming language thoroughly. So at that time some errors may be happen. So such errors are known as syntax errors. For example, so consider the below line of code. So in this line we are just initializing the value of I equal to 0. In the immediate second line we are executing the if statement. So in this if statement we write just if I equal 0, so and then print I. So in this statement, while running the program, we get a syntax error called invalid syntax, which means in the decision making statement, if statement, we forgot to put colon symbol, colon operator, so that while running the program, it may rise as a syntax error. So this is known as a one type of syntax errors. And on the other hand, we know about logical errors. Logical error specifies the all type of errors in which the program execute but gives the incorrect results, which means the programmer know the syntax and programming language detailedly, but he could not or she could not understand the program, understand the logic of the solution. So while running the program, we may get the incorrect results. Logical error may occur due to wrong algorithm or logic to solve a particular program. A programmer may understand the wrong algorithm or logic to solve a particular program. In some cases, logical errors may lead to divide by zero or accessing an item in a list. Suppose we are going to access the element in the list, we are trying to access the element in the list. Suppose we are finding out the list in out of index error. So where the index of the item is outside the bounds of the list, it may rise an accessing a item in the list. so which is called as a logic error. So in this case, the logic error leads to a runtime error that causes the program to terminate abruptly. These type of runtime errors are known as exceptions. So what do you mean by exception? The exceptions are logical error leads to a runtime error. So such errors, it will lead the program terminate the abruptly. So now we are going to handle these runtime errors, also known as exceptions. So first of all, we are going to learn about the exceptions. Exception is a statement, is a syntactically correct. It may still cause an error when it is executed. First of all, we are going to execute one statement. The statement is syntactically correct, but it may still cause an error when it is executed. Such errors that occur at runtime are known as exceptions. Such errors may happen during the execution, or errors are known as exceptions. An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of a program and disturb the normal flow of the program instructions. So can you understand? An exception is an event which occurs during the execution of the program or running time of the program, and it will disturb the normal flow of the program and its instructions. When a program encounters a situation, it cannot deal with it and it raises an exception. Once a program it raises an exception, we must handle the exception, or the program it will be terminated abruptly. So now we are going to handle the exception once it is raises the exception. You can handle the exception in your program. Otherwise, if the exceptions are not handled by the program, the error messages are generated. So now we are going to handle the exception. So far we have learned about exceptions and what do you mean by exception. So now we are going to handle the exceptions. We can handle the exception in our program by using try block and exit block. So in handling the exceptions in the program, we are going to use the try block and exit block. A critical operation which may raise an exception is placed in the try block, and the code that handled the exception is written in the exit block. So once again I will repeat it. Suppose we are going to write a program with exception handling. In exception handling, it may consist of two types of block. One is try block and another one is a exit block. In try block, which consists of the code which raise an exception. At the same time, the exit block, it contained the code that handle the exceptions. So next we are going to see about the syntax of try and exit block. So this is the syntax of try block and exit block. So this is the try block. The try block which may contain a set of statements. These statements could raise an exceptions. So on the other hand, we have a exit block. This is the syntax of exit block. So we have this and next one. This is a exception name. So in this exit block, we have a set of statement which is used to handle the exceptions. So this is the syntax of exceptions and handling the exceptions. So this is the flow chart of handling the exception. The first one, suppose in the program may raise the exception or may not raise the exception. Suppose it will raise an exception means, suppose the program raises an exception means, yes, the handler are found. Suppose the exception is found, exception statement is found means the program control is transferred to the handler. Suppose we are trying to execute the program. In the try block, the exceptions are raised. That is, the exceptions are not raised. No means the program execute normally. Suppose the exceptions are raised, so whether it is going to check the handler is found or not. Suppose if the handler is not found, the program is terminated and an error message is displayed. On the other hand, while running the program, the exception is raised, and at the same time we have a handler also found, which means exception also found. Yes means the program control is transferred to the handler and handle the exception, and we may run the program and get the result. Okay. So next one, the example of exception handling. First of all, we are going to get the two numbers, numerator and denominator. Both are integer number, numerator and denominator both are integer number. So in this program, we are going to use the try and exit block. Within the try block, we are going to calculate the quotient. Quotient equal to numerator divided by denominator number. If the numerator divided by denominator, it will produce the exact results, means it will print the quotient, and we will just print the quotient value. Suppose the denominator it will be a 0 value, means suppose the denominator it will be a 0 value, means the quotient it will get a 0 division error. In try block, it may raise a 0 division error. So suppose 0 division error maybe happens, means it will check the exit block. The same error message will be appear in the exit block. It will match in the exit block. So then it will print the value of denominator cannot be a 0, like that it will be print. Suppose output, we will see the output, enter the numerator value 10 and enter the denominator value 0, which means the quotient it will get an error which is called as a 0 division error. So we will check in the exit block. So exit block it contains a 0 division error block. So exceptions are matched with exit block. The errors are matched with the exit block, and then it will print the denominator cannot be a 0. Suppose any other maybe happen in the try block. Thus, those errors are not appeared in the exit block. We are not handled in the exit block. The program may provide the result, error message. The program may generate the error message. So far we are learning about the what type of errors and the exception. So, and how to handle the what do you mean by exception and how to handle the exception. So, in this class we are learning about the errors and the exception. So, thanks for watching. Thank you so much.